discussing the CBSE NET paper for June 2015 paper 3. So the first question here asks, which school does Eratosthenes belonged? And he was considered as the father of geography. Now there are various opinions and various views regarding Eratosthenes. He is one of the famous mathematicians, a geographer, as well as an astronomer. His main field of research was finding out the circumference of the earth. Rather, I should say he was the first person who tried to find out the circumference of the earth, and he was Greek in origin. So the correct answer here is Greek. That's choice 4. That was a kind of very factual question or direct question that was asked. A question based on history of geographic thought. The next is, von Theunen's agricultural location theory is. The correct answer here is, von Theunen's theory is based on normative approach. Now let's first understand what is normative approach. Normative approach considers anything as ideal. So if I say, what would be the ideal circumstances in which von Theunen's agricultural location model was considered was isolated state. I can say isomorphic surface, and the economic man or the economic state. So these were a kind of basic fundamental concepts that were included in von Theunen's model, and these were ideal assumptions which in reality do not occur. So this is considered as a normative approach or the ideal settings or the ideal approach. So that was the correct answer for the von Theunen's agricultural location model, which was based on a normative approach or an ideal approach. It does not focus on anything specific and is based on certain ideals or certain assumptions. The next question is, who was greatly influenced by Leplay's trilogy of place, work and folk? Now Leplay gave the trilogy. The word tri here means 3. So he gave the 3 concepts, place, work and folk. The similar concept of environment, function and organism was adopted by which of the following? So the correct answer here was Geddes. Geddes adopted the trilogy of environment, function and organism. He considered place as an environment where a person is working, work as his function and folk as organism. Geddes also gave the concept of thinking machines based on this theory or this trilogy. He was greatly influenced by Leplay's model. The next is, which of the following Indian geographer has written the book Geography of Puranas? Now this is a very direct question. Geography of Puran was written by S.M. Ali in 1996. So the correct answer is A. Next question. Here you have to match the contribution of Indian geographer with the specialization. Now Prakash Rao gave the regional classification and the various macro and micro regions. So his theory, his contribution is mainly towards regional development. So regional development and planning, the correct answer would be VLS Prakash Rao. G.S. Ghoshal has done a lot of research on population. So the correct match here would be population geography. R.L. Singh did a lot of work specifically in rural settlement. Here it's just given settlement, so the correct answer would be settlement. And C.D. Deshpande is known for his researches in urban geography. So what we need to know is recent or current developments in the field of geography with a special reference to India. So these are the people who have done recent researches in the field of geography in India and their contribution to the various specializations. The next is, which of the following scholars does not relate to behavioral geography? Now Tuan, this should be Crick. Tuan, Crick and White are major contributors of behavioral geography. You have Peter Gould, Peter Gould did substantial researches in the field of quantitative revolution or quantitative developments in the field of geography. His major works was on spatial analysis and mental maps. So the only odd man out here is Peter Gould, who did his researches in the field of quantitative revolution rather than the behavioral geography. The next is, which of the following states in India has the lowest population density as per the latest census? So since it's our latest census, we would be considering 2012. Census takes place every 10 years. So after 2001, it was 2011, and then 2021 would be the next census. Now, there were few questions in paper 2 also which were related to census data. This question is again based on census information and some of the major findings of the census data. Now, Arunachal Pradesh has the lowest density among all states. The density is 17 persons per square kilometer, in contrast to New Delhi, where the density is 11,279 persons per square kilometer. So Arunachal Pradesh is the region with lowest density as in contrast to New Delhi, which has the highest density. The next question is, which of the following stages of demographic transition indicates the state of underdevelopment? Now, demographic transition model talks about these 4 stages. The first stage is a high stationary stage. So when would population have a stationary nature? It can only happen when either birth rate is high and death rate is also high. Then you can have a very stationary population. The high birth rate is governed by lack of family planning. High death rate is mainly governed by huge incidences of epidemics, prevalence of diseases in the region. Now, when these two are high, these two generally take place in a state of underdeveloped country, or I could say LDCs, less developed countries, which word is more preferably used nowadays. So here the population growth rate is a kind of very slow and least fluctuating, a kind of stable curve you would find, and this is known as the first stage or the high stationary stage, and the correct answer would be the high stationary stage. The next question is again based on census information. Which of the following districts in India has recorded the highest sex ratio? So sex ratio defines number of females per 1,000 males. So when you are talking about number of females per 1,000 males, what we need to understand here is, in case of Mahe, Pondicherry, the sex ratio is 1,176 per 1,000 females per 1,000 males, in contrast to Jhajjar in Haryana, where the sex ratio is 774 per 1,000 males. So what is happening here is, Mahe denotes a region of highest sex ratio in any district in the country, in contrast to Jhajjar in Haryana, which denotes the lowest sex ratio. The next question is, now this question is based on the various types of densities of population that we need to discuss. So let's first understand the 4 density of population. What does they denote? Arithmetic density, or I could say the standard density formula, is total population per unit of land or divided by the land area. Agricultural density denotes number of people engaged in agriculture divided by the agricultural land. Physiological, or we also call it nutritional density, it denotes number of people per unit of agricultural land or cultivable land. And finally you have economic density, which denotes number of people per unit of available resources. Now here the question, even if you don't know what are these densities, from the question you can directly find out. Here it's given ED, and ED, if I try to find out what kind of density it is, E stands for economic, D stands for density, so the only correct option here can be economic density. So economic density, the formula is Nk divided by Sk dash, where N is the number of inhabitants, K is the per capita quantity of requirement of each individual, S is the area in square kilometers, and K dash is the quantity of resources that is produced in that square kilometer of the region. So quantity of resources produced in a specific region, and here it's number of the inhabitants that require a specific quantity of resource. So the ratio of these two would be known as the economic density. So the correct answer here would be 4, that is economic density. Now we have another question on density that could be solved easily if we know the concepts that we have already talked about. Now this question deals with the concept of central tendency. When we talk about central tendency, there are 3 terms that we commonly discuss: mean, mode and median. Mean is the average of all the terms. So if I say I have value x1, x2 and x3, the average of these 3 values would be known as mean. Mode is, if say x1 value has 10 apples, x2 person has 20 apples, and x3 person has 8 apples. So the highest number of apples are with the person x2. So that would be the mode. And median is the average of the value, how much variation is from the lowest value and how much variation is from the highest value. You get the center value or the median value as the term itself denotes. So that's the median. It's the center of the population or the center of the curve. So the correct answer here is, which of the following is used to indicate the center of population? The correct answer would be median. Next question. This is again the question that is based on the information that we have already talked about on the density chapter. So since we have talked about in the density section, this question is a kind of ambiguous question, because here what is asked is, we have to find out the population size to the land area with a view to assess the pressure of population on the given resources of the area. So when you are asked about assessing the pressure of population upon the resources of the area, the most relevant answer here should be economic density. But since economic density is not mentioned in this choice here, the closest match here would be the physiological density. I could also say it's known as the nutritional density, and this denotes the total number of people per unit of cultivable land or land under cultivation. So when I am talking about land under cultivation, it means the land having specific resources. So this would be the closest match. Population density, agricultural density and population growth rate cannot be the correct answer. The next question, which of the following religions of the world has maximum territorial dominance across the world? Now among all the 4 religions mentioned here, Christianity is a religion that has maximum spread worldwide. If we see the pie graph here, we can see nearly 36.8% of people in America follow Christianity, 25.9% in Europe follow Christianity. You have sub-Saharan Africa, where nearly 23.6% of the people follow Christianity. In Asia Pacific it's around 13%, and in the Middle East and North Africa it's around 0.6%. That shows each and every continent of the world has significant presence of the religion of Christianity, and therefore we can say it has the maximum territorial dominance. The next question is, who is the author of the concept of demand cone? Now crystallar theory of hexagon of least cost, we have already central place theory we have already talked about. So he gave the model which were hexagonal in nature, and based on those hexagonal models he tried to define the marketplaces. So what we are trying to understand here is, Losch gave a modification of Kristall's theory. His basic criteria were 2. First was inclusion of pure competition in his concept, and second was minimizing the distance or the transportation. So when he tried to focus on pure competition and minimization of transport, he tried to say that each hexagon which Christaller has gave is nested within a bigger hexagon. So I can say this hexagon underlies a bigger hexagon which is mentioned here. Okay. Based on this concept, he gave the concept of demand cone, and he said there are certain regions where the demand is significantly higher. So as we can see in the map here, the center region would have higher demand as compared to the periphery region. So there would be higher demands for transport, higher demands for developments in this region as compared to the periphery region, and based on this he gave the concept of demand cones. So the correct answer here is August Losch, who gave the concept of demand cones. The next is, which of the following group of crops can be grown in the area having temperature of 20 to 27 degrees Celsius with an annual rainfall of more than 150 centimeters? Now, since we are given two things here, one is temperature, one is rainfall, the only thing we require to solve this question is the information on rainfall. Now, within the choices we can see two choices are maize. Maize is a crop that usually grows around 60 to 70 centimeters of rainfall, and barley is a well-known drought resistant crop. What does drought resistant crop means? It is resistant to drought. That means it can grow in areas of very low rainfall. So usually barley grows in around 30 to 40 centimeters of rainfall on an average. So first cannot be the answer, third and fourth cannot be the answer. The only left choice here is 2. So rubber, rice and jute are the crops that require heavy rainfall. A rainfall of nearly more than 150 centimeters and a temperature of 20 to 27 degrees Celsius. So it's important to understand how we need to solve the questions. There are certain distractors that are always given, and we need to rule out those distractors. The next question is, we have to match the author and the theory. Now Weber gave the concept of least cost theory. So you have Christaller's central place theory, and then when we talk about industrial theories, we have, or the economic models, we have Weber, who talked about least cost. So he talked about prioritizing a setup or an industry based on the least cost, and this is the minimum production cost. So the correct match for Weber is minimum production cost. Smith talked about the concept of maximum profit. We have already covered these individually in a separate session where we have talked about the Weber's theory, the Hotelling. Hotelling gave the concept if you remember the previous class, we have talked about the ice cream model or the ice cream stand. So Hotelling gave this concept, and he talked about perfect competition in that theory. So under perfect competition, he explained if the two vendors are located onto the two parts of the beach, how would a perfect competition affect the market for both of these vendors? The next is Hoover. Hoover gave the concept, he tried to incorporate Weber's theory and gave the concept of isotems. Isotems are the lines that follow equal transportation, and his theory was based on minimum transport cost. So these are the correct match for the various authors. Now this is an assertion reason question. What we are trying to understand here is Japan is one of the largest producer of iron and steel across the world, despite the fact that it has shortage of raw material. Now Japan has shortage of raw material, then how come it is the highest or the largest one of the largest producers of iron and steel across the world? The basic reason behind this is Japan has a good ocean base. So you have the 4 islands of Japan with a good ocean boundary. Most of the iron and steel companies in Japan are located towards the port cities. The basic reason is they have a cheap transportation, which is the ocean transportation, and this cheap transportation helps the region to flourish. So you have direct access to deep water ports, So coastal exposure and direct access to deep water ports is a basic reason why Japan steel production mainly occurs along the coast or the port cities. So the correct answer is both A and R are true, and reason is the correct explanation for the assertion. Now this question is, you have a question given here. Based on this you have to chalk out which is the correct matrix. So we will see just two things here, the regions with least values and the regions with maximum values. So let's start with the least value. So among all these, only 7 is the region which has just a railway station and nothing else. So if I try to mark for 7, all should be 0 except railway station which is 1. Okay, so the third is circle which is railway station. So this is railway station, this is post office, this is hospital and this is school. So only railway should be 1, rest all should be 0. So this does not follow here, so it is incorrect. This does not follow here, so this is incorrect. It follows only in these two. So one of these two is correct. Now let's see the region with maximum. So you have region 1 which has all the 4 amenities, and then region 6 which again has all the 4 amenities. So you have 1 and 4 where you need to mark all as 1. So you have all as 1 here, and just 6 you have 0 here. So this cannot be the answer. So the only correct answer here is this. So with this you can understand how you can solve the first and sixth. Only if you know the least and the maximum values you can solve this kind of question. The next question is, you have to find out the correct sequence of urban land use. So when you are talking about urban land use in any region, what you need to understand is, you have the economic rent versus the distance curve. Now economic rent is based on two things. First is the exclusiveness of any product and how scarce or how rare is that product. So exclusivity and scarcity of the product governs the economic rent. If a product is exclusive, the economic rent would be higher. If a product is very scarce, again the economic rent would be higher. Now in this you are given 3 segments, AB, BC and CD. So as we can see in AB, this section is the highest, which is commercial. In the next section you have the line here. So this is the line for residential, which is the highest. And in the third section you have this line which is highest, and this line is for the industrial. So the correct answer here is commercial, residential and industrial. Next question, Whittlesey classified agricultural systems of the world. Now with this question we can understand the importance has been given to the various classification systems mainly given by Whittlesey in the field of agriculture. So that's a kind of very factual question that has been asked this time. There are 13 agricultural systems that Whittlesey classified, but these 13 regions were classified based on these 5 criteria which we need to remember, because there can be a similar question next time which can ask what was the basis for the Whittlesey's classification. So Whittlesey's classification was based on the association of crop and livestock, whether a region is capital intensive or labor intensive, the productivity of any region, the consumption pattern of the production, and the various methods and techniques applied in the region. So these 5 were the basic criteria that Whittlesey used, and based on this criteria he classified 13 regions across the world and gave the 13 regions of agricultural systems. The next is, which one of the following group of country leads in total coal imports? Now China is one of the largest producer of coal, but also it is the largest importer of coal. So the correct match here is China, Japan, India, South Korea and Taiwan. These are the major countries which are importing coal from other countries as per the 2013 data on World Coal Association. This was a kind of very factual and direct question that was asked. Now here what we have to do is, we have to match the tribal group with the Risley's classification. So Risley gave the classification on Indian race. Now Risley this time has been important because there has been a question in paper 3 as well as there was a question in paper 2 which was based on Risley's classification. Risley's classification was based on the various criteria where he classified based on the nose and the appearance Indo-Aryans, Dravidians, Mongolites and Mongolo-Dravidians. Now out of these, Bhils are considered as Dravidians or have their origin from Dravidians. You have Bhutias of Uttarakhand, which are Mongoloids. Then you are left with Brahmins of Odisha and Jats of Haryana. So Brahmins of Odisha are considered as Mongolo-Dravidians. Along with Brahmins of Odisha, you have the Kayas, mainly from Odisha and West Bengal, who fall under the category of Mongolo-Dravidians, and then you have Jats of Haryana, who are considered of Indo-Aryan in origin. So these are the correct match for the various types and the Risley's classification on race. The next question is again an assertion reason question. The question says, assertion says Indian Ocean is a major military base for many superpowers, which is totally correct. You have many superpowers in the Indian Ocean. You have military bases and naval bases of various countries of the world. The only reason being it has strong geopolitical benefits in the Indian Ocean. So you have the map of India, you have the Arabian Sea, Bay of Bengal and Indian Ocean, and this Indian Ocean is the region which has huge geopolitical significance because it falls in the pathway from the east and the west. So both assertion and reason are correct, and reason is the correct explanation for assertion. So the correct answer here would be A. Now you have to match the tribe with the region. Now here the important thing is, the only confusing thing that has been asked is, Bhils is a tribe that is common in both Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat. So this would be a confusing section for most of the students. Let's first solve out the easy ones. So Mikhirs is a tribe of Assam. Khond is a word from Odia, and this is a tribe of Odisha. Now we are left with Gonds and Bhils. Gonds are mainly found in the Deccan area or the Gondwana region. So when we talk about Indian origin, we can say the region which was in the south was known as Gondwana land, and the region which was in the north was known as Angara land. And Gond word comes from Gondwana. So you have the Gonds specifically in the southern areas or the Deccan areas. Now the only choices left here are Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh, and Bhils are prevalent both in Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh. So what would be the nearest match for Gonds? The correct answer here would be Gujarat, okay, and for Bhils it would be Madhya Pradesh. So this was a kind of confusing question for a lot of students, and this is how we can work on this question. The next question is, you have to match the party system government with the countries of the world. Now in India, as we all know, we have a multi-party system. So you have Congress, you have BJP, you have Trinamool Congress, Communist Party of India, Communist Party, Marxist and so on. So you have multiple parties that exist in India. So India, you have a multi-party system. United States, you have either Democrats or Republicans. There are some candidates, if they don't want to stand as Democrats or Republicans, they stand as independent candidates. So independent candidates do not belong to any specific party. So in US you have bi-party system or two-party system. India you have multi-party system. In China, predominantly most of the leaders stand under a single party or one party, that is Communist Party. In United Kingdom, you have predominantly a two-party system, but there are cases where a third party has also won elections certain number of times. So we say in UK technically it's a 3-party system. However, a lot of students got confused between UK why there is a 3-party system in UK. So this is the correct explanation for this question. We would be covering the final set of 25 questions for Geography paper 3 in the subsequent classes. You can subscribe to Exam Race